Hello, everyone. Whoever's here, at least. Can you all hear me? Very good to know. Alright. As I said, and as the stream title says, today we are going to be playing through some old SRB2 versions. This is kind of the crop of my channel. My most popular video of all time, one pushing 200,000 views. Or is it 300? I don't remember. I don't check this stuff much. But my first video to ever blow up was about the history of Greenflower Zone. And so this is very old territory for me. Haha, I agree, Luke. So, full disclosure though, this is not the same PC I had when I made those videos. So, I don't have everything set up in the same way. I've obviously done some pre-stream setup. But unfortunately, while doing so, I discovered that some of those versions don't work so well on my newer Windows 11 PC. And so what that basically means is no 2.0. 2.0 does straight up not want to work on this PC. It always produces some really terrible lag and choppy audio. I have no idea how to deal with that. I'll try and figure that out some other point, but no 2.0 for today. Instead, we're going to focus on the Games Factory, TGF, Demo 2, the 2000s prototype, Demo 2, Demo 4, Final Demo, and maybe 2.1. I hope that is enough. With that said, in a moment, maybe I should put that right there. Yeah, I know, but there's not really much you can do. Okay. That's it. Dylan Pickman? No, this is Martel. This is my little PNG tuber. Okay, there we go. Whatever reason this is refusing to work for me. I'm sorry. That's always super loud. It's like a gunshot. Why is my audio not working? This is the Games Factory. This is the first ever version of SRB2. Unfortunately, this is deciding that it does not want to... The audio does not want to work, which is very frustrating. Nope, this is SRB2, believe it or not. Sonic the Hedgehog Robo Blast 2. I am very perplexed. The audio's not working. I hope it works when the title screen comes up. It starts. Okay, yeah, the music has just decided it doesn't want to work. Well, regardless, I guess. We'll try this anyway. Gosh, I made a horrible mistake with my controls. We do that. There we go. That's better. Welcome, ladies and gents and comrades, to the very first version. Oh, sorry, that's too loud. I'm sorry. Is that a little better? There is not. There is no jump sound. At least, not normally. Let me lower it further if it's just a little better. There we go. I don't know why the music's not working. I'll have to figure that out. It was working earlier. Regardless, yes, this was the very first version of SRB2, all the way back from 1998. This predates Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure was released in Japan, even. This is genuinely what SRB2 was going to look like back when it was being made by a 13-year-old Sonic who was pretty much the only active developer other than the composer. And believe it or not, this is the first version of an Emerald token. Because if you collect this, you immediately get taken to this top-down, very eye-straining special stage that I'm going to try and get out of as soon as possible. Oh my gosh, I forgot they used this plaid, or not even plaid, it's just an eye-grating checkerboard pattern for the entire floor. This looks like something I would have seen on Khan Academy in 2015. What is going on? Yes, Sonic was 12 and 13 when he made SRB1 and SRB2 respectively. Come on. Goal is obviously to collect rings, but... This is the only special stage, by the way. There are no other tokens in this entire pack. Okay, so that works. Oh yeah, I remember that, SS and Fang. I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't born yet. But at the same time, yeah, I do remember hearing about that. You thought we had it bad with polyobjects now. How about these moving platforms that don't carry you? Apparently, according to Sonic himself, this was pushing the limits of what was possible with TGF, which was one of the reasons why they opted to scrap it. Initially, they were going to go with a custom build made in C by the one and only Stealth, as in Simon Stealth Tomley, one of the lead developers of Sonic Mania. But ultimately, some drama happened and that fell through. They opted to go with SS and Tails' modified Doom engine instead. Easy. They were, so from what I know, Oh, by the way, welcome to Techno Hill. This is all it is. More crawlers and whatever this shooting badnik is supposed to be. Clearly an early form of a jettison. Anyway, Stealth was somewhat blindsided by the decision to suddenly switch to Doom, which caused him to leave the project in a rage. He apparently came back later around the Xmas builds for some reason, but then again, there was more drama, and he left again. The White Glove Diaries are pretty vague on the details, so unfortunately we don't know a lot. I have no idea how to get that token, by the way. I don't think it even is possible. But yeah, that's the story. Stealth really was involved with SRB2 for a little bit. Ah. No, but obviously you have to wonder what would have happened if they had kept going with this. Because the game could have been finished. They got all the way up to Mine Maze. Mine Maze Act 1 is in this build, which means that level did technically get an official release at one point. The game was about halfway done. It probably could have been finished before 2000 if they had stuck with this. But, of course, SRB2 would have been relegated to the dustbins of history if it had. So that's just what I find interesting. And here we have probably the only other enemy other than crawlers to survive the transition from... Well, I think minuses are in this too, but we have the Detons, however you pronounce it. I don't know how you're supposed... Is there a moving platform? How am I supposed to get... Oh, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Yeah, I'm on the bottom path. Like how this wall texture survived all the way through 2.1. Remade, obviously, but it did. I've always pronounced them as Deton too, but it's clearly a pun on detonate. So, yeah. It's a Rayquaza situation again, unfortunately. Or even just a Phi-Phi. Oh. Bop. This level is way too long. Why is this level so much longer than the previous two? Sorry, previous three. I honestly blanked and forgot Techno Hill 1 existed because it's so similar to Greenflower. Oh my gosh. These controls are awful. Sonic begins moving immediately. He has basically no acceleration or momentum. He just goes. Ah! And every time you start moving, he curls into a ball for a moment for some reason. Unlike SRB1, at least there's scrolling screens though. It's not all a multi-screen. It's not a multi-screen game instead. Yes, welcome to Techno Hill Act 3, where we get 3 rings, and then we have to contend with the awesome boss fight. You guys ready? It's a sphere. It's an MS Paint sphere. that makes the same sound effect that blew our eardrums out. And eventually it'll come down for a hit. And you bonk it in the net. Okay. I love this. Absolutely plain background. MS Paint looking boss fight. MS Paint looking Sonic. And the most basic floor texture you can imagine. This truly was fan gaming in '98, wasn't it? I know, the suspense is killing me, isn't it? Don't you agree? We've been here for a minute and a half of basically just waiting for this guy to dive down. Oh, no, wait, hold on. I know what will really improve this fight, okay? I'm going to make this fight way more fitting. There we go. Yeah, it's only fitting. Now the boss is a true Sonic experience. We are 2 minutes in, and the boss is not dead. Well, there go my rings, because I was trying to be snobby. Yes, indeed. Although, in fairness, Fractal was at least a visual spectacle and was supposed to teach you about using flipping to 3D in boss fights. What is this? This is the second boss of the game. This is the average Superstars boss experience. We are hitting the 3-minute mark, by the way, and still no progress. Spoke too soon. There we go, finally! Deep Sea, and I think I'm probably going to play a little bit of this level, then switch to the next version, because this level is awful. It is terrible. I hate this more than THC2. Look, guys, slopes. I have no idea how you're supposed to get that shield up there, unless you can... Okay, this is how you're supposed to get it. It's been forever since I played this. Yes, that really is the drowning sound effect. Yeah, there are random invisible speed boosters in this game. I have no clue why. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think we're done here. I'm going to... Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to the next version of SRB2 we're going to be taking a look at. Because, oh my gosh, that really was how SRB2 was going to be originally. That was the vision. This was it. it was going to look and play exactly like that. I can't say sound because there's supposed to be music that's not played, but that was it. But in fairness, it was 98. It was being made by a 12 or 13-year-old. Uh, I do not have DOSBox on this PC at the moment, and I do not want to go through the effort of trying to capture that with OBS. So instead, we're going straight to the March 2000 prototype. There we go. Choose your skill level: subsonic, sonic, supersonic, hypersonic, warp sonic. I think we'll just start with this. Anyway, welcome to the March 2000 prototype. Do I not have... Okay, there we go. This is it. This is the one of the earliest versions of a non-demo SRB2 we have. Yeah, he does. He does indeed have a gun. I found that out earlier. Because I've actually never played this prototype before, funnily enough. After I stopped doing those history videos, I stopped really playing old versions. Not that I wasn't interested in it, but I had had my fair share for a while. Anyway, yeah, if you didn't know, Green Flower Zone Act 2 was originally just the second half of Act 1. Look, a Chaos Emerald. Okay, we're going to have to... The fog is basically useless in this. It's so slow, takes you in a predetermined direction. Love this art. This is the good stuff. I don't think the boss was coded in yet. Nothing unusual there. Yeah, they split it in two, Sonic 3 style, which was probably the right call because I have no idea what that terrain, like, hill fountain thing is supposed to be. Like the one with the thin quarters you wrap around. Also, don't worry, guys. He's green for an amazing reason. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. I have no clue what's going on. Am I going backward? I'm going backwards. I recognize this. It is, on that note, cute to see how much of this old level design, this level design that's 25 years old now, survives to the current iterations in 2.2. Eggman bailed after hearing Sonic had a gun. I would too, frankly. I think a supersonic hedgehog's enough to deal with, but then he's coming packing heat, a rocket launcher no less, I would bail. I'm not sure if this level has an exit, actually. I didn't test this far, I just made sure it was working. It is, yeah. Just like Doom. Ah, there we go. Level the signpost just always spinning. Alright, this should look pretty familiar. This is pretty close to the 2001 version. Unfortunately, that also means that it plays like the 2001 version, and so it's essentially a giant maze. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but one of the reasons... This is where SRB2's levels start to become tiny, thin corridors. And again, that was the plan. But according to, I think it was Essence and Tales, part of the reason it was like that was because they always played in first person. It was Doom, after all. So everything felt much more natural in first person. Okay. Yikes. Come to think of it, I think I'm remembering now, the TGF builds did not have music, did they? I edited those in for the videos. Yeah, that's what I did. How did I gaslight myself? Like, I was worried, I was thinking back on that recently, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, that was misleading. And misrepresented the historical versions. But now I've just realized I misled myself into thinking they did. My goodness. No, yeah, thank goodness none of this carried over to beyond the demos. By the time of final demo, this was all sorted out. Oh, hello. This is... That's Doom text. And once again, we reached pretty much the end of the playthrough. If I were doing this legitimately, which I'm not. Welcome to Deep Sea Zone. A level that was so confusing to me when I made those old videos that I straight up just... I did not know if there was an exit. I had to open it in Zone Builder to check to see if there was a signpost. And yes, there is. But you know who doesn't care about finding it? Me. I do not remember this crud. It's been 5 years. Oh. Oops. Do I not have... Okay, I straight up do not have the other levels loaded, so these are all Doom stages now. Can I open this door, please? Hello? Nope. Kind of just a friendly reminder of how much of this game really is Doom, especially early on. Okay. I think that'll probably do it for the 2000 prototype. Next, I'm going to try and figure out which version we can do next. Although I was having some mouse problems with Demo 2, so let me try Demo 4 real quick. I'm not doing Xmas today, strictly because I want to focus on the main version themselves. Alright, so you'll have to forgive the awful quality, but I can't stream this in full screen mode, as you're probably aware. Because you know what happens when you Alt-Tab out of a full screen SRB2 demo window? It Well, there's no other way around it. It becomes an abomination of a visual display. It's all crunched to one side, grayscale, with random assortments of stray colors. So, I'll have to stream it in window mode, meaning you can't necessarily see this, but I am looking at a tiny, tiny window using dysfunctional arrow keys and a shift button, along with WASD to control this. So please excuse me if my gameplay isn't phenomenal. I may do 0.90 recreation later, but I want to get through the main stuff first. This is demo 4. 4.35 to be exact. Yeah, I've noticed the camera's a little low. Unfortunately, when I move my mouse, that happens. It doesn't seem to like my mouse. None of the early demos other than the prototype like my mouse. I love the demo 4 special stages. They're so absolutely awful. Like, look at this. Why is this so terribly precise with its time limit? I like to think I'm doing an okay job getting this, given the nature of the controls and the limitations I'm working with here. Yeah. I'm not even playing using the actual window anymore. I'm using the stream preview window to control this, which comes with a slight input delay. So that's fun. But it's genuinely less unbearable than dealing with trying to play based on this tiny, tiny 320 by 200 window. Okay, there we go. Got the Chaos Emerald. Okay, here we go. Whoa, multi-thock! Woohoo! Is that what I think it was? Did I just see that properly? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, the invincibility. Because in this version, it's the speed shoot theme. Yep, I did see it right. It's a jettison. A jettison in Green Flower 2. That's literally just how things were back then. Oh, I will be doing exactly that. Fun fact, I was told that by Mystic. Back when I started doing these videos. I'll have to do that in Techno Hill, actually, just so I... Okay, let me get a ring first. Okay, whatever, Eggman. I love how tiny Eggman is. He's a fraction the size of Sonic, even with the Zygomatic. I can boost the game audio if you need. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, okay. There we go. We now have all 7 emeralds. This also means we can show off what Demo 4 Supersonic looks like. The game audio's too quiet. 1 second. Is that better? Coolio. I didn't want to repeat of earlier, where TGF was going to blow out our eardrums. Hello, Jenny's and Gunner. Honestly, buzzes are kind of infamous in the community, but I'd rather take that over whatever this is. Alright, this is Supersonic. Yep. He's got a cape. That's it. He jumps ridiculously high. He can't float, but I don't think he needs to. It did. And even then, it's still just the current track is still a remix of this. Okay, I have no idea how to control myself here. This is actually unbearable. Look at me go. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. I feel like a key goal of Supersonic should not be to make the game harder, but lo and behold, they pulled it off. Now, luckily, there's no Techno Hill Zone 2 in the game itself, so we're just gonna... Yeah, that's true, Fang. Anyway, welcome to Castle Eggman. This level you only get if you get all 7 emeralds. Or cheat, like I did. Yes, this really is Castle Eggman. I remember the first time I found this out, it was so funny. For years, Techno Hill Zone was associated with that known as Green Flower 4. Because it's another Green Hill level. But this is literally just Green Flower Zone textures. And it's not just a placeholder either. Eventually they would update the textures with new unique versions that are just black and gray recolors of Green Flower's textures. It's so silly to me. At the very least though, unlike TGF, I know what I'm getting into with these stages. God. This music is pretty good. Even in this really old, cheap MIDI form. It's still great, you have to love it. Ow! That was an Armageddon shield? I didn't know that. I thought it was just a regular old MIDI shield. Alright, finally got the button. Okay, gonna navigate through this nightmare. Okay, it's just over there. I'm not going to the Deaton hole up there. We're just gonna go straight into the button hell that is the next level. Here we go. Jeez, okay. Don't, as a mapper for this game myself, the modding community that is, don't make button hunt levels. Just don't. I'm just gonna give you that word of advice. Do not make button hunt levels. I don't care what twist you think you've got on it, do not make button hunt levels. Because the intrinsic flaw of them, no matter how good they are, is that you have to return to the same point, the main hub, multiple times. And that is always draining, and it feels like way more of a drag than it should. We got one more, and it should be this one over here. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm getting a button over here. Oh, I did forget a button. Where is it? I hate it when that happens. Alright, probably back over on this side. I'm gonna complete the level. Oh, did I just straight up not press this down? I thought I did. I was so confused. I was thinking, well, I got over anything in that area. Maybe it was in the cavern area with the water? No, I apparently just did not press that down properly. Okay. Come hit me, guys. This is demo 4, it's not final demo, so I'm just gonna, we'll handle that in final demo. Actually, wait, I don't have that save file on this PC, do I? And there we go. That's it for SRB2, demo 4 at least. It's still interesting to me. I don't know what compelled them to make Castle Eggman, because that level was not in the original game plan. You were supposed to go from Deep Sea, to Mine Maze, to Rocky Mountain, to Red Volcano. I mean, I think it was a win in the end, but still. Red to 16 is here, but I'm not personally interested in going to meet him at this point. I think we're going to switch to final demo at this point. So, let me go and set it up. Okay. Oh gosh, what did that just do? Wow, alright. I don't know how to convey this. Final demo just messed up my whole PC. Well, hey. Okay, final demo's not going to work right now. I tested this earlier. Why is it doing this now? Screen resolution is probably an issue, but I summoned it in windowed mode, so it seems odd to me that it would mess everything up. Demo 4 didn't do that. Hi, Miniman. I don't want to just skip right to 2.1. That would be such a huge jump. But 2.0 refuses to work on this PC. I think I'll have to do some mess around with compatibility mode later. But yeah, we will be software for final demo. All right, I think I know what I have to do. All right, I'm going to just capture my entire screen instead. By the way, Whisper, I know I'm poking fun at things a lot, but I'm doing that for the sake of comedy. I don't hate these versions by any means, and I recognize that they're impressive, right? I honestly think that this is just something that comes with the turf when you're going to go back and look at old versions. I did my time honoring these old versions 5 years ago when I broke them down in a series of videos showcasing everything they had. I didn't make fun of them then. I honored them. At least that was my goal. Nowadays, if I'm going back to stream them, I'm going to poke fun at them a little bit. But that's for comedy's sake. I still appreciate what these versions did, and I appreciate that they're quite impressive for their time. It's just still funny to bask in how far the game has come. Okay. So just make sure that I don't have any personal info on display here. Let's see if this works. Oh gosh, no, that is not working. I see the stream preview. Why is it in the corner? Is that gonna work? Please tell me that's gonna work. Oh dear, that's still really bad. What about that? This sucks. This actually sucks. I tried 1920 by 1080 first. It was the first thing I tried, unfortunately. I can't tab out at this point, Fang. Because if I do, it will freak out. Wow, that's bad. Maybe I can fix that in post? If I save this VOD. But yeah, I guess that's fair. Honestly, I may just play the game like this. Oh, I guess that's fair. Yeah, I forgot you can do that. Let me do that. course it's gonna be like this. Okay. So what we're going to do is capture that. Please mind the seizure-inducing visuals for a moment. Okay, wow, that is still trying to freak out. Okay. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to do. Ah, this is not going to work well, is it? Well, OBS has decided not to let me move things around. Yeah, it's funny. This happens all the way through 2.0. I'm determined to make Final Demo work, even if it's subpar. I have it set to fit the screen, yes. The problem is the window is just fucking out. Okay. Alright, I'm not going to bother with this for any longer. We're going to use display capture and just deal with the cropping problem. I will try and figure something out better for next time, but it's better than nothing, right? Oh yeah, I better enable my desktop audio then. Man, this is way more of a hassle than I predicted. Okay, I think we will go with that. I want to point out that I can see on the stream preview that it's cropped weirdly. On my screen, it looks fine. Finally, let's play as Tails for once. There we go. Alright, final demo. Finally. Subpar, but it works. I didn't play Final Demo when it was new. I was alive, but obviously I was a very small child. I would have been 2, maybe, when Final Demo first launched. So, yeah, not exactly on my list of priorities. But still, what I'm trying to say is this does still make me feel nostalgic, simply because it is getting closer to 2.0 and 2.1, which I did play at the time. Yeah, I remember you talking about that, Mitty. Yeah, I agree. Little fun fact about one of my previous creations, Fort Sunset. I always thought that these levels had some potential. This time especially it had potential. So during the late 2.1 era, I started working on a special stage similar to it, which became Fort Sunset. My main qualm with these levels is that they're not made of structures. They're made of just these random crystal blobs. And I thought that they would be much better if there was sense to all the noise. And so that's why I built a special stage built around a castle. And that's what became Fort Sunset eventually. I miss the little SRB2 leitmotif in the special stage theme, I'll admit. Yeah, it was interesting. I really liked using multiple value coins for Fort Sunset. I thought that made it a little more interesting. Obviously, it was supposed to only be the first special stage in the Drawn to Life pack. There were going to be many more with more complex ideas and a risk-reward factor when it came to the different values of coins. But as of now, that still hasn't panned out. I was thinking maybe on one of these streams I would go back and play through everything I had done for a new canvas, the Drawn to Life pack. Yeah, Drawn to Life itself has multi-value coins. So I had to include those in the pack, obviously. And it does improve the level design, I think. Hello, Eggman. Look how simple these sprites look. Different time. Before 2.0's Eggman, there was this. Kinda, not like, a bit like red coins, but unlike red coins, there weren't just like 8 of them in a level. Instead, there'd be, instead of the normal silver coins, there'd be a gold coin worth, worth 5 coins every once in a while. And there'd be even a bigger coin worth 10 or 20. Even rarer than that. Now this still gets me. This level has always reminded me of Hover, the Windows 95 game, for some reason. It's the combination of the blue sky, the pink water, the green grass, the brown walls. You think Egg Rock should be harder? I mean, I think my problem with Egg Rock is less the fact that it's difficult. It's the final level, it should be difficult. And more that it's a difficulty spike, owing to the fact that there are 2 levels missing between Red Volcano and Egg Rock. It was harder in 2.1. My other main issue with Egg Rock is that it's a gimmick gauntlet. As in, most Sonic levels, they pick 1, 2, or even 3 gimmicks, and then flesh those out over the course of a level. Egg Rock just throws gimmicks at you constantly. It used to be a lot worse, mind you, but it still does this. Yeah, the fan room is such a nightmare. That's such a nightmare of design, even, because the game does not introduce those fans anywhere earlier. You're just suddenly thrown into the gimmick with bottomless pits everywhere. There's no time to learn the mechanic or the gimmick. You just have to improvise on the fly. I also don't like the Yoku blocks, the reappearing and disappearing blocks in that one room, because again, you have no opportunity to learn the mechanic. You just immediately have to do it over a bottomless pit. That was the room I remember really screwing people up. Really screwing newbies up. When 2.1 launched, I remember watching a stream by Mega G Wolf, where he tried to beat the campaign for the first time, and he got so stuck on Egg Rock. Egg Rock was a nightmare. And I mean, I went through the same experience when I played through SRB2 for the first time. Egg Rock really needs that remake, and a lot of reasons, not just visual polish, I think. But as someone who's seen the Egg Rock remake, it's looking good. We're in safe hands. I mean, nowadays I don't find the disappearing blocks to be much of a challenge. But at the time, I died in that room so much. My first complete playthrough of SRB2 was with Knuckles, and you know, I eventually developed a system for how to skip half of that room. But if you picked Sonic for your first time through SRB2, you're in trouble in that room. You really are. Oh yeah, Mitty. Hours spent on Egg Rock. Hours! Oh, that video's good. I wish those streams were archived, but that was before Twitch auto-deleted streams after 2 weeks. So, they're all gone now. I love this boss fight. They haven't developed the Pogo gimmick yet, so he just does this. Oh, no, wait, no. They have developed the Pogo gimmick. The difference is he doesn't stop moving towards you. That was it. That was the difference. This guy's just constantly on you. I'm very sad they took out the ability to do this, the spin dash, after hitting the capsule in 2.2. Yeah, you can't. Anyway, like I said, they replaced it with new unique textures, but it's just green flower zone with cracks in it. Hello, Jettison. It is kind of funny to me that there's no actual new campaign levels. Besides, well, there's actually no actual new campaign levels in Final Demo compared to Demo 4. You could make the argument of Techno Hill 2, but even then, that was available in a prototype form in that build if you just loaded an update file. A file labeled update net.dll. It's actually just a one containing Techno Hill 2. Nope, no THC3, so I guess that is new, but it's a boss fight, not a full level. It is, but it's not a full campaign level, like I said. Oh, hello. Nice rings out in the open. I sure hope nothing bad happens if I were to take them. Yeah, that's right. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? There is, but I don't care. Really, Sparky? Alright. Sparkle? My phone's pretty far away from me, so I can't tell if it's Sparky or Sparkle. Yeah, my setup is a laptop, a USB mic in my face, and my phone situated on my screen so that I can read chat. It's all I have. I am not a professional streamer. As you can probably tell by the quality of my commentary. What am I doing? I need to go back over here. Hello, Jettison stuck in the floor. Okay. Other side now. Glad this room was finally taken out in 2.2. It serves no purpose here. In a game like this, it really just should not be there. The well is still here, though. And now we have an actually unique invincibility theme. Okay, this time I didn't forget anything. Alright. A time when SRB2 really only had like 3 enemies. Do you know Castle Eggman's music changed within Final Demo itself? 1.01 had a different theme for it compared to 1.09. Alright. Hello. Please situate your stuff right here, Eggman. Oh, come on. You're gonna be tricky about this, huh? Yeah. Okay, he's gonna be bad about this. Unfortunately, he's still just GFC3 Eggman with a bunch of rocks around him. So, not particularly hard. Yep, Fang. All correct. Producer and director. Sonica was off the project by the time this came out. He left in the early 2000s. I don't know, actually. It does kind of look like F-Sonic. I don't think SRB2 would have deviated. I don't think we would have gotten 2.2, honestly. I think it would have probably stuck close to SSN's original vision. SSN Knuckles. What a strange creature. But it's a very unique one. I have no idea what that means. Hey, Furious Fox. You left a couple years ago. In fond memory of Neo Toshima, he's not dead. I don't even know about Howard Drawson, but Oshima's not dead. How many bucks bribe for Half-Life 1 stream? I have Half-Life.
Thanks for playing the SRB2 demo.
Oh, hold on.
This is the last release before the final game comes out. But here are several things you can do to tide you over. Visit the SRB2 website at www.srb2.org for news and updates. Poke around the editions section of the website. There you can download home-brewn levels, characters, and more. Stop by the SRB2 chat room. The place is never empty, and it's also a great way to find people to play a net game with. Well, now you're being sent back to the title screen. If you haven't already, try playing as a different character to uncover more secrets and hidden items. Did you get all those Chaos Emeralds?
No, I don't care to. Alright. I did not bother saving, so we're not going to get to any of that stuff. Howard Drawson did make the original version for of the theme for the Virtual Sonic album, which is still pretty interesting to me. I have Half-Life 1. I could do a Half-Life stream at some point. I don't want to be an... If it wasn't obvious, I don't want to be an SRB2 tuber forever. I want to branch out. But everyone knows what a good multiplayer. Yeah, you want me to host Final Demo in 2025? I don't think so right now. I don't think I've even had my ports for it. I'd have to tab out for that. I don't know. But we still got one more old version to take care of before we're done here. Okay. Hold on a second. You want me to do multiplayer, Gam? I've been planning on doing a stream where we do multiplayer net games in old versions. We could do that later this week, if you guys would be interested. I'll try not to do it on a weekday, I guess. Hold on a second. Why are you bugging out on me, OBS? Come on, capture SRB2. Okay, that's why it wasn't working. Gotcha. Okay. Of course, I wasn't going to start this stream without showing pure fat, so here you go. I'm glad Pure Fat is gone, but I also weirdly miss it. I have to skip over 2.0. I'm sorry, I didn't want to, but in my setup earlier, I could not get it to work on this current PC. The audio sounded like a weed whacker. It was so choppy. But once every year, a strange asteroid, here we go. Diet Little Planet has arrived. Yeah, and it stopped for a moment when I ran it in compatibility mode, but it came back immediately. So I don't know what the deal is there. It's also why I haven't put out that throughout history video involving the OLGC or CART, which was my plan initially before I decided to do streaming instead. I could not get 2.0 to work properly. I did actually record CART and Riders in Final Demo and 2.1, but it just won't work in 2.0 for me. I'm not sure why. DX win? What do you mean? Love this little animation, by the way. He's so cute. Look at him. Whoop. What do you see, little guy? Although this music unironically goes hard, I will hear no other alternative opinions. Yeah, I'm glad too. Although admittedly, this whole intro is pointless. Oh, thank you. I may have to look into that, MIDI. That would probably solve a lot of my streaming woes today. Drama Hog, hello. Real. It is Eric Canyon before Eric Canyon. You're not quite as dead as we thought, huh? Are you gonna tell us your plan as usual, or we'll have to work it out, or something? I love this one frame in particular. What is going on with this art style? It is bilinear filtering. Love how Sonic and Tails get blackout lines, but the Jettison just doesn't. I am using software, yes. Never been much a fan of OpenGL, admittedly. Yes, I'm using software for this. Yep. Alright, let's just do Sonic and Tails. Here we go, 2.1. My own, baby. Let's go. Already got hit. We're off to a great start. Oh, that controls so much better. Oh, sorry, every time I go through these old versions, I end up going through withdrawals. where by the time I finally get back to good control, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel. It's so much better. There we are. Riveting gameplay. Yeah, proper air control. For the first time in SRB2, it was 2.1 that installed that. Visually, yeah, there wasn't that much difference, but control-wise, this is a huge deal for me. I don't really have any thoughts on how the camera moved before. It's mostly Sonic's movement that I care about. In previous SRB2 versions, if you ran at max speed, your air control got locked in midair unless you held back. I will not be playing through the whole campaign if you're wondering. This is not going to be a 2.1 run through. I'll probably get through Castle Eggman if anything, or maybe Deep Sea since that's an extra zone now, but... Don't worry, like I said, we'll probably do a full run-through of the entire old campaign at one point in multiplayer. No. In a different stream, we'll probably do multiplayer GAM. I don't have anything set up for that right now. Years ago, like in 2023, I wanted to do a Net Games Throughout History video, which would have required organizing with everyone to record some net game footage across all versions. I even set up a Discord server for this. But it didn't end up happening because I had school obligations at the time. The server sat unused for a while. I've recently converted it into just a generic Discord server for my channel if I ever need it. I don't currently, so that's why it's not public, but if I ever need it, it's there. But yeah, we'll definitely do net games in older versions at some point. I was preparing to roll down the slope. This is 2.1, there's no slope. Sonic's a little faster and a little hard to control in this version, but this still feels like home. Oh my gosh. Compared to what I was dealing with a moment ago, this feels like smooth butter. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, 2.2 didn't overhaul it visually overhauled the stages, but it didn't remake them like it did for a lot of the other campaign levels. In 2.1 net games, I was kind of the nice guy, as in I would always rush ahead and be the one who got the emerald. I was also always the one who could consistently do egg satellite. That was sort of my job on those servers. So I still have a lot of muscle memory for this. I used to annoy people by going for A ranks in this. Oh, hot take, I really like the free 2.2 version of Mystic Realm Zone, you know, Egg Satellite theme. I really love that version. In fact, in general, I do prefer the older Mystic Realm soundtrack. Not because I think it's objectively better. It's probably not. But I really just like the specific sound to it. It's not something that could ever be recreated, no matter how good the composition is. And again, the new ones are really good. I should stress that. They're probably objectively better. I just subjectively like the sound of the older versions more. Ow. Okay, come on. Hello, laser. Bye, laser. Oop. Ah, come on. Admittedly, I don't think there's really any place in the game where I find invincibility useful, other than to get that one token with the electric shield. Not token, emblem. Oh, were they? Unfortunately, the terminology there is lost on me, but I can appreciate the discovery. I remember when some guys in the CSCS found the Mystic Realm font. That was a funny time. Don't use the Mystic Realm font for making ordinary text. It's basically illegible, but it was cool. I don't remember the name offhand. I'd have to check. But this was years ago. This was like 2020, so... I love this. The old elevator, the bane of every multiplayer net game. Look at that light box. Light box with the solid bottom because they were using phos for this for some reason instead of mid textures. Indeed. Goodbye, Tails. Yeah, there's a reason those elevators are just kind of bad ideas. At least the one in Egg Rock has a second tunnel that opens up once the elevator is used. But yeah, there's a reason the elevator was taken out despite the fact that we all miss it. It was more a feat of engineering in terms of zone building than it was an actual good level design idea. I think that would be extraordinarily funny. However, you could also like the argument that that happened in Red Volcano back in the day, before 2.1, because the opening lava section, the lava would still rise the moment one player entered it, and it would not come back down. Okay, hold on. I miss there being a token in a special stage. They should bring that back. If you put me in charge of SRB2, the very first thing I would do, go to special stage 3, boom, new token, right there. Probably I'd 1 in 6 too, just for the fun of it. I think you could even do something funny with Egg Satellite Zone by hiding a token there, so you basically just instantly try it. Oh, I love this. I love Tempest Valley. Love this track. Okay, that's it. Most of the other ones require 80 spheres. The 2.2 version of this track, as in the actual special stage theme, not the Mystic Realm version, is also really good. Not to say the Mystic Realm version is bad either, but the special stage 4 theme in 2.2 is one of my favorites in the soundtrack. Hello, Egg Slammer. It's 4 AM. It's time for your cheesing. Bonk. Bonk. Okay, that's it. Alright, Deep Sea. This was essentially the level everyone got stuck in on their first playthrough. It did not. I think if I remember correctly, there's inside this. Yep, Armageddon Shield. I was taught that in a net game once. Pretty cool. Hello, one up. I mean, I don't think this version's any less boring, I'll be honest. I at least like the visuals in the new one, but this one's just really monotonous and bland. Thank you. I don't remember where many of the tokens are past here. I remember the one in Deep Sea Zone 2, obviously the one in the maze, but... Oh, and I think I remember one at the end too, so I'll try and get the emeralds. Hello, I remember when these used to crash the game when 2.1 launched. You just use this overpowered spin dash for a moment. There we go. 2.1 spin dash was really overcranked compared to 2.0's. It was really fun, especially in combination with a conveyor belt. There is one on the Knuckles route, yes. Love how that spring section never works out. This is 2.1 right now. 2.0 would not work on my PC, so we're doing 2.1. Hello. Okay. Man, I forget how similar the starting area here was to the starting area in 2.2. Hey look, that's the room from the old beta versions. Yeah, I kind of miss those. I know the devs have had ideas about proper zone transitions for a while. No, something's wrong with 2.0's audio. Quiet. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like a weed whacker with how choppy it is. It would have been a miserable experience to both play and stream, so I just didn't. Crud. This is not the same PC I used to make all those old throughout history videos. This is a newer Windows 11 PC and it just does not like to work on that for some reason. But Mini Man recommended a solution earlier that I may be able to use next time. Yeah. Down, there we go. There we go. It is interesting being back on my YouTube channel making content about older SRB2 versions again. I've not done this for 4 years now. Thank you, Tails. Thank you, Tails. Thank you, Tails. Oh my gosh. Yep. Go. Okay, jump over. Take a right. I forget, wasn't there a token somewhere over here? Yep, there it is. Many memories of waiting here for everyone else at the end of the level. Pretty good, I think. Love how this is just Spring Hill Zone retextured, by the way. Yep. Interesting how this level's always been a little shorter, even in the current builds, but it's actually got a unique level to it. Ah, whatever, I don't need the link freeze. I'm not going for the A rank. And there we go. Easy enough. Yeah, the 2.2 one is really tight on spheres, for some reason. I don't know. By the way, fun fact, seeing the stage reminds me, you guys know what Rob made for SRB2? He made the special stages. The nice ones. That was his thing, and by his own admission, he wasn't very good at decoration. So that results in whatever this level is. Where it's just I call this level the firebox because it's just a bunch of boxes. That's easier to go under now than it, than it is now with the slope there. The second special stage? I don't remember that. Okay, there we go, 80. Of course, all the special stages will have 80 as their quota, minus the first one, of course, and then you'll come with Egg Satellite where you've got 120. I know Azure Temple Zone was entered into the OODC in 2.0, but I don't remember the special stages ever being entered. Nights mode is in the earlier demos, by the way. One thing I was shocked by when I went to record old kart versions, there was a level called Sonic Team Junior Circuit, and in the middle of that, in the middle of you racing in a kart, it suddenly throws you into Nights mode in the middle of the level, and then you go back to using a kart afterwards. I did not even think that was possible. Well, yeah. The 2000 builds did have, the 2001 builds did have most of the campaign. The game was almost done. We mock them now for saying SRB2 is going to be finished in 2001, guys, but it almost was. If it weren't for the fact that they threw out the levels and decided to make them better, SRB2 would have been finished and we would not be here. It would have, again, been relegated to the dustbins of history. Crap. That is... No, it's very good. I hate pre 2.2 Sea Egg. There we go. I miss that you can't spin dash after opening the console anymore. That's a bad change to me. Okay, token right down here. Yep. The amount of times Castle Eggman has been remade is kind of stunning when you think about it. Especially considering this level wasn't even meant to be in the game in the first place. It's not in the original planning docs. So the fact that they were willing to die on this proverbial hill is something. SSN Sonic's sprites were finished, mostly, rather, around 2000. With keys there, okay, no. Submitted as a 2.0 add-on. That's interesting, I didn't know that. By the way, a lot of players got stuck here because the game never conveys that you're supposed to hold forward to speed up. Oh crap, too early. I was trying to sync it with the music. I'm so dumb. I regret to inform you that I do not care for whatever Keezer is from. Is that Pizza Tower? I don't know. Oh, come on. Come on! You know, the Supersonic... There was only one Supersonic sprite in the Christmas demo, and it was not used again. Supersonic was not reintroduced until Demo 4, at which point he was just Sonic with a cape. Dusteel Zone? You mean like the Sonic 2 level? The Scrap Sonic 2 level? Or the early name for Mystic Cave. Yeah, I know, but... Yeah. The new Supersonic sprites were added in, yeah, final demo. Well, that makes sense. They were also adding Hidden Palace and Wood Zone. I wonder if Genocide City would have been planned. Alright, I love this music so much. Let's go. Original Egg Satellite. Here we go. I'm back! Also, sorry if I'm very talkative, I am locking in. Ah, crap. Bump the ceiling. Okay, I gotta get 13 more. There we go. Ah, little rusty, but I got it. Now to go for the goal. And there we go. That's Egg Satellite. Sonic got them all. Yeah. I have a memory of being so desperate for co-op servers to play on in the 2.1 era because the MS was dead, was absolutely dead in the late 2.1 era. But I joined a BR server and they were on this map. I could not understand anything anyone was saying. And my connection was so bad, I think I just left. Castle Eggman Zone's layout, oh crud. It has been remade each time. Some things get retained, but it's very different. Oh, come on, camera. Alright, I have not really died much so far. I'm not going to start doing so here. There we are. Love how that's basically just there to stop Knuckles from climbing up the wall. Even though it's useless, because you can just climb the other wall. Oop, bad timing. There we are. Well, most of the live servers were Hangout, yes. but there were just barely any live servers in general. It really was basically just nothing. You would almost never see a full page of servers. It was rare to have 2 pages in the all room. Smart cores, shut up. Up here, I remember always rushing to get this before anyone else did. Come on, I can do this. There we are. Well, no, it wasn't just because the port forwarding card. SRB2 was dying in the late 2.1 era. It really was dying. There were barely any mods or maps coming out. The server was super inactive. Like, go compare the OS's daily post numbers to now. Like, you think things are quiet now? No, things are at least 20 times more active than they were back in those late days. That comes at the cost of the community being far more kid-oriented. Like, a much larger proportion of the community is kids nowadays. It was always a sort of minor-centric space, but I feel like in the OS, at least most of us were at least close to adults. Well, they did. Sorry, you think mods like the Sugoi Trilogy make people play co-op? They did for a while, but you have to remember that Sugoi did not release all at once. You know, Sugoi 1 happened around, like, what, 2015, 2016? And Kimo Kawaii did not come out until very late 2.1. It famously spent a long time in development hell. In fact, I remember Kimo Kawaii's sign-up page, or a submissions thread, said jokes about how dead SRB2 is. Yes, it was. Secret was in match in 2.1. Yeah, the Android port was... I remember really liking the fact that the Android port existed simply because it meant that more people could play SRB2. Unfortunately, it did cause a lot of tech-illiterate kids to go in the community. Excalibur. You think the boss is hard now. Back then it was just a waiting game. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting the time-honored tradition we have to pull. It's funny because the Sky Temple boss in Superstars reminds me so much of 2.1 Excalibur. Okay. I think Superstars gets a bad rap because of its boss fights and unpolished state and some of the music. But it's a pretty, if you compare on the fundamentals, the level design, the physics, the characters, the story, it's a pretty good classic Sonic game, I think. It's no worse than Advance 1 or anything. That's generally how I see it. I see it like the Advance games. That was in the game almost immediately, as far as I know. The difference was that originally, rings just went further out in general. I know that for the main Sonic franchise, that really didn't crop up too much until the Rush games, where rings would drop right next to you when you first got hit, but as you got hit more and more, they'd fly further and further. And because they run on the Rush engine, the Sonic 4 duology brought those over to the mainline games. Also, you guys are talking about Dark City, huh? Yeah, my one request for Dark City is that it's not called that. That's essentially all I want. Give it something else. Like, even just Shadow City. That would work a lot better in my opinion. I think it might have, yeah, I don't remember when exactly it is. It was Final Demo, I'm pretty sure, so that would have been 2003, 2006. Rush is 2005, so... Oh, crud. Well, there goes my attempt, there goes my ability to cheese this. With Supersonic, at least. Well, I don't have a player 2 controls set up, so we're doing it this way. A hint of what? Oh, this end section. Yeah, I don't know. I partially think it's just because it's that infamous, it's iconic at this point. Do I agree with that mentality? Honestly, no, probably not. But, you know, I'm not a dev. Not on SRB2 at least. I have my own projects. Hello. Hello, Orbonauts. Unicuses, whatever you're called. I like how this section not only stuck around since the early beta quest builds, but it's still in the game. I think that's really cute. In fact, this whole level is still, it has the same layout as the beta quest builds, even if obviously it was remade to not be super tiny and cramped. Love the Mario lava levels too. This room is still in the game. Honestly, at this point, I guess we are beating the campaign because I'm so close anyway. There's no black core zone in 2.1, so I guess we're just going through Egg Rock. Love the Armageddon shield here. What is this for? There's basically no enemies in this level. Have line textures have consistent texture movement compared to the police speeds. Would you sign it? I'm not signing an SRB2 related petition. That's stupid. Hey, Chase. It is very basic, isn't it? I don't think we need super and hyper levels back. I think the challenge level system is good enough. I still like to see Sweet Tooth Zone, though. I am glad Freak Show Zone got scrapped, though. That was such a weird idea. Yeah. His sprites were polished, but I don't think they were remade. Because remember, it's not a Bagnet that's original to SRB2. It's from, well, Orbinaut in the classic games, and then Unitas in Sonic Adventure. I don't want a boss fight where you fight old Sonic. This music is loud. Hold on. I can barely hear myself. I still love the fact that a zone all about Sonic Jr. was supposed to be called Freak Show Zone, because knowing what we know now about the old devs, that is a very apt name. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that was what Freak Show Zone was. This would be a level about Sonic Team Jr. And given what we know now, those devs would have been, you know, Spazzo, Mystic, Rob, JTE. Very, very glad that a very aptly named level did not get made. Oh yeah, Prime 2. Bye, Tails. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but Egg Rock does not lean you in to its gimmicks. It just throws you in. That was the first time we'd seen the outer space gimmick, the no air gimmick. And yet, it wasn't an easy section. It was a precarious platforming section. At least there were no bottomless pits. But there's no way for you to learn the mechanic easily. You're almost guaranteed to die there in your first try. The layout used to be even harder in 2.0. I love this music too much to go supersonic immediately, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow, my deaths in this place are gonna be the dumber ones, aren't they? Not even to the hard stuff. Okay. Okay, grab the line, Sonic. I know it's a laser. I know it shouldn't be grabbable in the first place, but I know you can do it. Honestly, this section is easier than the one at the end of Egg Rock 1. Even with the bombless pit. Nice fight. Oh yeah, the wind tunnel. The wind tunnel is obviously the most infamous part of it, but it's not even my least favorite. Actually, it might be my least favorite, but I don't think it's the most outrageous one. Simply because you can make the argument that it's an extension of the current gimmick, like the water gimmick that was introduced in Deep Sea Zone. I straight up think the disappearing block room should just be taken out of the game. Or remade from scratch to not be a bottomless pit. Yeah. That snailer is deviously placed. I don't know why the snailers are yellow in this version, because they're from the OVA. Alright, here we are. Disappearing block room. Tails immediately dies. Yep. I could, but I don't have, I know the Yoku block training section is in the other path in Egg Rock Zone 1, but the problem is that's an optional path, and it's generally considered the harder one. You can completely miss that, and then have no training. Anyway, yes, you can cheese it with Tails, but in 2.1 you need to have player 2 controls set up to do that, and I don't. It's still kind of weird to me that you can turn off the 1-up music, but you can't turn off the supersonic music. I have them set up. Well, yeah, look at you. I haven't played 2.1 in a while. Leave me alone. Oh, yeah, this. One of the only uses of 2D mode in the entire campaign. The other one being this level. Oh yeah, Claire did a great job with the supersonic music in 2.2. The supersonic music before then is a little boring, admittedly. It's just the guitar riff, you don't get the main SRB2 theme at all. Oh, what the crud? I wasn't paying attention to my ring count, oops. Oh. Honestly, this might kick me on the back of my head already. Head? Shirt. Shirt, Dylan. You don't right-kick me in the back of someone's head. You write it on their shirt. Okay, let me just do this the old-fashioned way then. I said, let me do this the old-fashioned way. Oh my gosh. It's been years, admittedly. There we go. I used to make this a little more entertaining by specifically trying to do it on the last frame possible. Okay, last one. I'm not going to the disco room. Dylan, you stink at this game? It's been a while. Cut me some slack. Oh yeah, you can do that. You can get stuck out there. Alright. I remember this was the level that almost made Mega G-Wolf rage quit. Because in 2.1, getting a game over sends you back to the start of the zone, and this is Egg Rock 3, it's not Black Core 1, so if you get a game over to Metal Sonic, you go all the way back to Egg Rock 1. Mega G-Wolf had to use a modified save file that let him start at Egg Rock 3. Most of the time I did not even bother with the upper route there. I would just wait for Metal Sonic to break the spikes. Yeah, manual saving was removed in 2.0. Getting rings now. In multiplayer, this also presented a problem because rings did not respawn by default in co-op in 2.1. So one player would get the rings into the Metal Sonic arena and everyone else would have to fight this boss without rings. By the way, it wasn't until I read the original design documents that I realized that spinning move he's doing right there, that's supposed to be an OVA reference. Okay, I'm probably going to run out of rings during this. But I've got Super Sonic right now, so I'll just kick back and relax. Yeah, those textures are messed up. Okay, come on. Yeah, I know what happened last time. I'm probably going to die, actually, because this is a little bit of a rougher fight. Can't wait for him to swoop around. Come at him now. One more. Yeah, I'm just using my 2.1 tactics instead of my 2.2 tactics. Ah, dang it! Too slow. This boss fight is... Yeah, Minnie, I've read the original, the Ultimate Design document, because it's like the very first version of it, because I found a copy. This boss fight is described almost one-to-one in that boss fight, in that document. From like 1999. Yeah, Metal Sonic's a lot less hard than he looks. He's really good at intimidating you with thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to beat this guy? But once you realize you basically just have to slowly move around the arena to dodge him, he becomes a lot less threatening. You really don't want to jump too much because he will rise to catch you in this version. But you just sort of step out of the way. And that's all you have to do to dodge him. You know, I remember when I did that Egg Rock video all those years ago, I thought that would be the final time I ever had to fight 2.1 Metal Sonic. You know, this boss that had given me such a hard time on my first playthrough. And yet here I am. Not even the first time since that video. Goodbye. Finally. I'm gonna like evil you and stuff to avenge that one ring. I'm sorry, gamer. There's thousands of them. It's not a wedding ring. It's not that precious. Amy can live without it for a while. Yeah, the fire instantly eats the rings. So I know a little story about this guy. Obviously, this is completely different from Bracken 2.0. And it was Prime 2.0, Prime V2, PV2 as he's known, who really pushed to get it replaced in the final few months before 2.1 came out, which is why he's a Cyber Demon clone. They really just wanted to get the old Brock out of the game and replace him with, I'm quoting directly here, something actually fun, unquote. Man, it's also funny to think that these Brock sprites were still in 2.2 when it came out. It was only a few patches later that they replaced it with the newer model. Yeah, I probably should not stalk into him. The knockback will send me into a pit. Oh, crap. Okay, well, that failure is my own fault. Oh, he's also an Archvile? I didn't know that. Goodbye! Yeah, in the source code he's called SRB2. We mentioned Howard Drawson composing the main theme earlier. This is the original version of the theme. Look at all these names. Some of these names are still around. Look at Alum. Ah, Monster Yeston. Lat. They're still around. That's not in the same capacity. Badapega. Motor Roach left the community a little bit ago. It's very funny to see Blaze Hedgehog here, given the fact that he's the source of the infamous 2.2 copy pasta. Oh yeah, he was here by now. I do not remember the music fading out this early. Is something wrong with my game? I hope that produced by note never gets taken out. Sonic will come out of your screen, Dylan. You will have to put him down. I think I'll just let him kill me. I'm built different. Worse. But I am built different. Alright. You know what? For old time's sake. I'm doing Tails, though. Dark Zone? This is near your aerial garden. It does come from the Frozen Hillside does come from the OLDC, and in fact there was a second act to it in the OLDC. Yes, Fang, I saw the title card. Unlike most of this community, I can read. Not much, Hypersonic. I'm finishing up 2.1. If someone hands me a link to the 0.90 recreation, I'll hand it to me on Discord. I'll play it before closing the stream. Because I am kind of curious now. Yes, we did get to see the Did You Get All Those Chaos Emeralds line. We have cleared the Demo 4, Final Demo, and 2.1 campaigns in this stream. It's on SSN Tales' channel. I'll go look at that in a moment then. I am curious. Well, it's that the funny hedgehog saying the line. It's pretty obvious. There's only one, like, say the line. There's not many lines of dialogue in SRB2. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to guess what you meant. It was fun getting to talk to Instasonic back then, like a couple of years ago. I think he's also the one who made the, was he the one who made the Ugly Nux model, or was that someone else? I think it was someone else. Pocket Labs is not in the game itself. But I still love how you can hear Sonicu's very clear British accent whenever he tries doing Sonic. I think it's pretty nice. I think it's pretty neat. Very nice relic at the time. I still don't fully understand what the term pocket lapse is supposed to mean. I always thought it was like a pocket time lapse, but it's an animation, so I don't get it. Whoa, 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 what's going on here? What? I have played this version of this level countless times. What the heck? Why is the all-consuming void opening up? Okay. Oh no, I have to go down here too. Are we good? We're all good. Okay. That was a pretty insane slime trail. Pocket Lapse Apocalypse. I like that. That weirdly rolls off the tongue. Alright. Down we go. Goodbye. Jacko made the model. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Thank you. Yep. If you're not familiar, Neo Aerial Guard Zone, of course from Mystic Realm, was combined into one level. Basically as an experiment to see how big levels could really be. And since it worked, they just put it in the game. And the result is the absolute gauntlet of a stage we have today. It's gradually had stuff trimmed off from it to make it not as obnoxiously long in each subsequent major version. Jeez. Alright, finally. End of the road. I'm glad we have to go through neither. I am not doing Azure Temple, if you're wondering. I am not doing. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Cannot make me. Alright, now, let's do the 0.90 recreation. SSN Tales 0.90. Okay, let me get this. I'm not doing demo quest right now. I'm just going to focus on Xmas Restored. Okay. Yeah, I think 2.1 is still holds up pretty well gameplay-wise. It is just something that needed visual polish, which of course 2.2 was more than happy to do. Okay, license, let me just... It needs to execute from the command line, so I'm going to create a bat file real quick. And then we will edit. Okay, there we go. I got it. Funnily enough, there was a plan during development to call 2.0 3.0 instead. Nope, I did not mean to select that, but it's alright. I'm not looking for a difficult experience. Hold on. Why does it always insist on mouse move? Where is that? Always mouse look on. Sorry, my controls aren't set up because I wasn't planning on doing this. Jeez, look at this. Haha. Wait. Infinite Thought. Yes, spin dash release. I saw that too. Ah, come on, come on. Not only do you get the real Christmas experience of basking in the snow and the pretty trees, you get the real Christmas experience of slipping and sliding on ice you didn't see on the pavement. Until you bash your skull in and bleed out in the Christmas snow. My streams are so child-friendly, aren't they? Remember, parents? At least I don't swear. This is an actual nightmare to control. I'm sure most of you have tried this, but oh my gosh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, very funny game. Very funny game. Very, very funny game. Yeah, I saw that too. It's the classic Genesis death sprite. Yeah, and the classic Halloween controls. This is before thought barriers, right? Wait. Okay, 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 okay. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Ah! Oh, come on. Look at the TGF crawlers. Look at them. Why am I drifting to the left? I'm not doing that. I swear I... Can I not spin dash? Oh, I can't. I can't spin dash. Oh, dear. Oh, my gosh. This is... so, in case you couldn't tell, we're not beating the campaign here. I'm going to try and get through springing around, and then we're gonna go. We're gonna do something else. I don't quite know yet what yet, but we're gonna do something else. I am pressing the rolling button right now. Like, did I not map that correctly? Rolling space. Yeah, there it is. Spin dash release. What? Oh, I can shoot. I can shoot lasers. Why can I shoot lasers? I've played through the Christmas demo campaign before. I know there's multiple ice levels, and I know about that snowy mountain. I am not doing that again. Come on. Gotcha. Oh yeah, the fact that SSN Tales released it up in a broken state without telling them to prove a point. I mean, I'd be pretty upset too if my co-developer did that. Okay. Bop. Gotcha, finally. Yeah, it is just multi-purpose rackets. I don't care. I don't care for the rich lord. He's spinning. He's doing flips. He's doing flips. A perfect 10. He sticks the landing. Oh, he does it again. Yeah, I wanted to mention this earlier, but if you didn't know, a lot of the SSN Sonic sprites are just traced from Extreme Sonic sprites. Which, I mean, like, fair enough. It's not like Sega was going to use them. Hello, Minus. Ah, crap. Didn't I say I was going to be done after springing around and we were going to do something else? By the way, I have no clue what we're going to do after this. Just for the record. Like, I don't know. Okay. Ah. This is a nightmare to control. Sonic's nightmare. But yes, it is. It is terrible to control. Yeah, I know. I am definitely not finishing this, though, because I actually like 2.1. What do you say, Quiet? I mean, he does technically in later games. He just doesn't do this weird spinning thing. Later versions, I mean. Ah, come on. You want me to load the iWAD for this in 2.2? Oh no, I see what you mean. Put the spinning sprites in 2.2 or 2.3. Okay. Chat, is this harder than the Azure Temple? I think it is, because you have good controls in Azure Temple. You know, you have tank controls in this. I cannot strafe, and the button that's supposed to let me strafe is now letting me strafe when it didn't let me earlier. Thanks, game. Is there any download for this version? I just got it from S's and Tails' channel just now. Okay, we're gonna do this the archaic way. Dying. That's what I meant. The archaic way of killing yourself. I really don't want to be stuck on here for another 10 minutes. Gotcha! Finally! What do I do? Is this a button? Yes, it is. Good. Okay. I was faced with the terrible prospect that I missed something across the gap and have to go back over to get it. Come on, Minus. Get down here. My Joker arc begins now. I think it'd be a shame if somebody were to just, someone were to accidentally no-clip through the wall and run all the way to the end of the stage. It would be a terrible accident worthy of the title of tragedy. I have no clue where I am going. Why am I down here? Help me. Look, guys, I did it. I did it. Oh gosh, this level. Alright guys, what would you like to see me do after I'm done with the recreation here? Because... with the Xmas recreation? Because, I mean, I don't want to go back to Final Demo. What's your idea, Quiet? This is painful. Why am I being subjected to this? I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to go back to Final Demo. That caused enough problems with the stream. Help me! What command line parameter? Help! Yeah, you could. It just search S's and Tails 0.90 on YouTube and you'll find it real quick. Tails might be playable. Skin. Skin is Tails. What? Well, I'm sorry, Miles. You seem like you've got two perfectly good hands there. I don't know. It's saying I'm playing as Tails. Like, if I just run the skin command again. It said that before I even ran skin Tails. Yeah. I can't pick Sonic. It's just Tails. I think I have infinite lives. So you guys see why I don't like this level? I don't like the Christmas demo in general. Yeah, I like Sonic. I like high octane speeds, such as gently tapping the W key, so that I don't go flying off these narrow cliff sides. Yeah, I know. I was playing as Tails earlier. Okay. Do you reckon we should move on to something else? You should play as Fang. How? How? I feel trapped in like a purgatory because I want to stop doing this, but I don't know what to do next. 2.2 in dev? I don't have that. Like, I'm a judge, I'm not a dev. I don't have access to secret dev files. I just see things the devs post in the staff channels sometime. Okay. No, wrong way, wrong way. No, 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 no! The Play SRB2 is my character mod Legacy Fang that has no download link and that you will never find unless someone magically has it. Actually, I think you could find it on 4 Shared, uploaded in 2006. And when you download it, it gives you an obscure virus not yet cataloged by any antivirus researcher. Nasser, Sasser, here we go. Let's go. Do this. Ah! Okay. Oh, that's part of the problem. It still insists on letting me use my mouse to strafe. I'm just moving my mouse. I'm not doing anything else. Why? Okay. So in the nature of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just... You know, perhaps it's not too terribly unfitting that after we play all of the old versions, we should come back to compare it to the current one. Ah. How did you set up a stream like this? Well, what do you mean? Do you mean just like the stream in itself? Do you mean my overlay, my avatar? I do have Doom 2 installed, so I could do that. The overlay, it's a PNG Tuber Plus. I'm using PNG Tuber Plus for this. I'm using OBS, and I set up the PNG Tuber and the overlay as a separate sources in my scenes list. Yeah, don't worry guys, 2.2.5, this counts as old SRB2, because 2.2.16 is actually coming out tomorrow. Little known fact. You heard it here first. No, PNG Tuber Plus is free. Oh, this feels like your lungs, sorry, your nostrils clearing up after you've had a cold for several days. Like, I'm sorry, but this is just so much more fun than the older versions. Older versions are still really good for their time, but man, I have a hard time adjusting to those controls. Bask in the literal egghead. The Mount Rushmore of fat men. Sonic Team Junior. I like how they, blah! Sorry. They completely retooled the way this boss moves in an effort to prevent you from cheesing him, except you still can. It's just a matter of moving left and right instead of just forward and back. How am I talking without a mouth? Magic. It's the dark arts. I sacrificed many newborns to get this power. Will 2.2.16 be the last version of 2.2? That is the idea. That is the plan. However, personally, I doubt it. Simply because I know what's going on behind the scenes, and I also know that typically, as you might know, the final version of SRB2 is never the final version. Yes. Make sure you get all those Chaos Emeralds. Yeah, no, sorry. Nintendo is sending us cease and desist for Pipe Tower Zone, so all of SRB2 is cancelled now. Introducing our own original platformer, Roly Poly Putt Putt. Please give us money. That will be $30 for the same campaign. You know, I'm proud to offer a consolation where one emblem will equal 20 Wii points that you can spend on the Wii Shop channel. Yeah, it does sound like Sonic 4. What's a good estimate of the year 2.3 might come out? I see a lot of people saying 2026, and I think that's what the devs want. Again, do not quote me on that. That's not based on any insider info. That's just based on, like, I've heard the devs talk about it in public. But personally, I kind of suspect 2027. I think 2027 is a safe bet for when 2.3 will release. If you're just joining the stream, this must seem pretty silly. The thread title, combined with just raw 2.2 footage. Ugh. Go have fun, Fang. People dog on this interpretation of Deep Sea Zone, or sorry, this iteration of Deep Sea Zone all the time, but I personally think it's easily the best one. There's never been a better version of Deep Sea Zone than this. If you took out the crushed stations, most of the hate for this level would disappear. Yeah, Sonic Movie 4 is coming out in 2027, isn't it? I'm not sure how to feel about that. Because I saw Sonic Movie 3, and I thought upon seeing it, this is the perfect way to end the series. The story has a perfect ending right here. Everyone's arcs have been resolved. Everyone's learned an important lesson. Eggman has sacrificed himself and come full circle. We finally tied up all the backstory and lore loose ends. What's not to like about this ending? And it's also just the simple fact that the Sonic movies have gotten better 3 films in a row. Each subsequent Sonic film has been better. And that's pretty rare for film series to do. But I cannot think of a film series that got better 4 films in a row. Like, I can't think of a film series where 2 was better than 1, 3 was better than 2, and then 4 was better than 3. So, I also don't know how they'll top movie 3, and I'm kind of thinking, is movie 4 the one where they finally can't top the last one? Oh, I think, I like how they have to keep killing Eggman because they don't know if Jim Carrey will come back. Because that's exactly just what happens to Eggman in the games. He always, like, clearly should have died in some horrible explosion, but he's always just fine next game. I like that. That's a perfect fit for the character, especially when he's being played by Jim Carrey. I hate this room. Yeah, Eggman came back after movie 2. The only film where it was pretty clear he was going to come back was movie 1. And that was because, well, it would have been lame to kill him after the first film. But I like how the fact they have to keep killing him. And he keeps surviving. That's perfect Eggman. If Illumination weren't cowards, they'd be doing that with Bowser too. Well, there's only 15 people watching the stream. I'm not a very big streamer, Hyper. It's basically just whatever little audience I've built up over the years. And even then, that was not from streaming, so I doubt most of them want to tune into this. Hopefully I'll win some over in time, though. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to make my commentary better. This is not something I'm used to. I'm a kind of introverted person, so not a big extrovert. What I want to do is I want to have some other like big community names on the stream sometime. I've set it up so that my PNG tuber won't be the only thing you see if someone else is on the stream, right? So like, I want to get Frivolous Aqua, a fellow judge and modder, maker of the dice pack on here. And if that happens, you'll also see his little avatar on screen. I've already got that set up, so it's pretty cool. Aw, thank you, Quiet. I loved making those videos. I'm really happy I went through and made the whole series. Yeah, Hyper. Little fun fact for the Throughout History series. I did start working on one more. I was going to do a aerial garden video. And I had shot like 95% of the footage. I just need to go back to get one version of, what's the thing? Inner Sanctum. I had missed the version of Inner Sanctum I needed to go back and record, and then I was going to edit the video. That's all on an older PC now, but that project died for a couple of reasons. One of which was Mystic Realm Community Edition was just really starting up at the time, and Aerial Garden was constantly in flux. And the other was, I don't like Aerial Garden. I did not want to spend any more time in that stage. So when I realized I had missed a level and I'd have to go back, and it was Inner Sanctum no less, so it wouldn't have been that easy to reach. I sort of just gave up. It's on an older PC. I could go back and get the files, but it's an unedited video, so it would not be like much of a lost media thing. People were telling me, you know, you should do the Mystic Realm campaign next, and the problem with that was, well, if we're just talking about base Mystic Realm, like the stuff Mystic did, there's not many changes over the years. Like, it stayed pretty much the same. But Mystic Realm Community Edition was changing constantly and still is, so it would have been kind of stupid to make a video on that. I think I was going to do... I had several ideas for where to go next. OLDC video, a cart video, both of which I did start working on at one point, but they didn't get very far. What was that? I was going to do one based on the multiplayer stages. I don't really know what I would have done. That the special stages were planned, all that stuff. But ultimately, I figured that ending on Egg Rock, you know, a video for every level in the campaign, was a pretty good. Yeah, I saw someone do it for Jade Coast, and they mentioned me in it. That was a pretty good video. But yeah, it was pretty good. I got in and out. I was also, with that Egg Rock video, pushing the limits of what my editing software could do. Because my editing software was just Movie Maker. I made all of those videos with Windows Movie Maker. Windows Live Movie Maker at that. I was dealing with constant crashes in the final stages of editing that Egg Rock video. It did not like me attempting to make that trivia section. The video was also the longest one I had ever done. The SRB2 directs are something I still get questions about, and those are done, unfortunately. I always wanted to do one more direct, simply because we had not gotten to use Egg Rock in the thumbnail yet. But the team lost all motivation, and so yeah, that's something yet. Yeah, I use OpenShot now. It's not a great editor, but it's certainly a lot more advanced than Movie Maker. You should fight Bracken 2.0. Trust me, I don't have a death wish. Not yet, at least. Not that kind of death wish, admittedly. If I'm gonna have a death wish, it's gonna be a pristine royal death wish. I want my death to be spectacular. I don't want to waste it on 2.0 Brock. You only get one death wish. Or rather, only one of your death wishes can be granted. I don't want that one to be it. Yeah, I don't use Clipchamp because of the... It's very limited and you get a terrible watermark on it. Yeah, oh yeah, that is my next plan for content, by the way. Like actual proper videos. I want to do add-on showcases where I take the previous month's best submissions and, well, show them off in a video. That would be, that's my next plan. It'll be, let me do that. Once you know how to cheese 2.0 Brock, it's fairly manageable. It's just a really annoying and tedious fight. You can clearly tell that fight wasn't meant to be in the game originally. At least not in that form, because they stick Brock on a middle platform so he can't move, and yet he's still constantly trying to move. Like, okay. Then they have to shrink everything down, which required a new level header parameter. Yeah. It's not a very fun fight. Yes, it was meant for Dark City. The white rockets he fires were supposed to be a level gimmick. That's why the game never teaches you how to use those. Hello. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. Again. I don't come down here much. Yeah, there was supposed to be a chase sequence and a stealth sequence in Dark City 2, which I'm really confused how that would work in multiplayer, but alright. Imagine someone just getting everyone else caught. Okay, there we go, finally out of that pit. SMS Reborn, I could load SMS, yeah. I don't really play as SMS much. Oh, crap. Oh, hello. I did not know this was here. I keep finding whirlwind shields. Oh, can you hear my mouse? Oops. It's pretty close to the mic, that makes sense. I should probably turn down my mic sensitivity, or turn up my mic sensitivity next time. Yeah, that's not intentional. Sorry. I wish I had known that earlier. It's been going for the whole stream, apparently. No, it's not supposed to. One of my favorite in-dev beta tracks is the boss theme, actually. I remember when that dropped. That was really hype. It reminded me of Mania, which had just come out. Still wild to think to me that 2.2 really is closer to Sonic Mania than Sonic Frontiers. Oh, I love RVC2's in-dev theme so much. I really, really hope they use it. It's probably not going to because it doesn't sound like a lava level theme at all, but I love it so much. Well, I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. Beta Quest's campaign was thrown out for a reason. You know, Beta Quest is mocked. You know, I think it's still really, really cool to see. It's very impressive at its time, of course, the whole spiel I gave earlier. But at the same time, you know, nobody really likes that. I'm going the wrong way. I just realized I'm not supposed to go that way. The slope does not force me to spin, no. I may do like art streams eventually, like streams of me making art. Simply because that's, you know, I'm an artist. I'm a sprite artist. Ah. Alright, I think we'll get to Fang, then we'll call it there. It's supposed to be an old SRB2 stream. I shouldn't spend too much time playing 2.2. Yeah, they are. I was not expecting at the time 2.2 patches to change so much. Because the 2.1 patches, and historically, you know, 2.0 patches as well, they barely did change anything, but 2.2 ended up being a lot more willing to change throughout its runtime, probably because the old guard was kicked out. But even at the time, when I knew they were becoming outdated, like when the Egg Rock video was made, it was already pretty outdated. Like, for one thing, the GFC 3 boss's lasers were updated. I had no intention of going back and redoing them, because it had been a multi-year project I did not want to re-experience. Yeah, some things later being released. I know I used, for Green Flowers, and I used the SRB2 of the past recreation of the 2000 demo prototype, because that did not exist at the time. Some information is inaccurate. Some information would later be proven wrong, of course, so. But, you know, that's the nature of being a historian, even. New info comes out later that renders your work not necessarily obsolete, but inaccurate. And that's fine. That was something I accepted when I made those videos. I never thought they were going to be untouchable forever. Yeah, every once in a while I get someone asking me for the 2009 beta of Egg Rock, because I personally restored that myself and never released it. What I did for that video was I took, there was an early version of Egg Rock released as part of a dev pack, like a decade ago. I found it, and then I opened it up in Zone Builder and took the 2.1 textures and applied it over top. Not 2.1, 2.0. Because the version I found had no textures. I didn't release it, well, simply because I did not want to go through that process. But also I probably would have needed permission from SSN Tales and Co. And well, SSN Tales was a lot less active in the community at the time. I mean, if it's missing, if it's lost, I can go dig it up on my old computer. Because my computer's still, like, that computer's still fine. It doesn't run too well. It blue screens like once a day, but I can go dig it out. Okay, goodbye, Fang. Go ahead, bonk your head. Thank you. Who's changed their names? You'll never see. I've certainly never changed my username. I've had this username since I was 7 years old. I'm not changing it now. I don't think Quiet's changed. At least I didn't notice it, but I've also been playing the game, so. Yeah, you are. You should get that looked out, buddy. Oh, you're midnight. Okay. I think this is going on to be the longest stream I've done yet. Although I'd have to compare it to the Star Road one. You know, sometimes I'm mid too. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'm always mid. I love this remix, by the way. This 2.2 version of Aerial Garden is so good. The music track, that is. The level I still don't particularly care for, because it's Aerial Garden. Just now with more bees. Oh my gosh. Aha, Luke. I'll be sure to save that line for when I'm a dad. Although you say that, we're primates too. So that could apply to us. Yeah, no rendering issues this time. Thank you. Yeah, you guys have no idea how the glow up from 2.1 to 2.2 felt at the time. It really felt like, wow, this is like a real game now. Not to discount, you know, the work from the other versions, but it felt so much better. I think, was it Tatsuru who said, like, how did we put up with that stuff for so long? How did we put up with the old one for so long? I'm using Windows 11, yes. Oh wait, no. I was about to make the unfathomable mistake of playing Azure Temple. I don't know. I just know that I did. Maybe I was using a trial version? I don't know. It's also worth noting that I switched to OpenShot before on getting my new PC. So maybe I tried, I think I may have tried Clipchamp on Windows 10. Open shot. Like a gunshot. Because it shoots me in the face every time I try and use it. Yeah, that. Yes, it was another OLDC level. I think this one was single act though. I don't think it was multi-act like Frozen Hillside. I like this section, how if you fall in the pit you just teleport back. That's really nice. If my gratuitous of flying wasn't obvious, I am getting... Yeah, I am not in the mood to play this level in full. Oh, it was. Mario Koopa Blast Zone? Yeah. I mean, we mock Pipe Towers now because it is fairly outdated looking, but at the time this was a huge upgrade. Like, look at this. This was a visually impressive level for early 2.1. Not even early 2.1, early 2.0. That's when that's when this came out. Unleash the Mystic Beast. I'm not gonna play this MS right now. I think it's, yeah. Let me do something though. I will pull something Mario related out of my hat. Here we go. Look at this place. Look at the slime trails. This is something I made. This is one of my levels. Thank you. It's not finished. Yeah, the stream's kind of moved beyond that point now. Because I ended up wanting to stream for longer than I planned. Thank you. Now, it's not terribly finished, as you'll see in this room. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me just... No clue. Oh gosh, I'm not in the right spot. I'm not aligned for this. Oops. Can I even hit the blocks? No. Okay. Thank you, Mario Cooper Blast Revamped. Let me do something again. Oh, did I mistype that? Oh, I did. I can't fully see the console because of my phone. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. Okay, this time I'm lined up. Obviously, you wouldn't have had to manually line up. In reality, the pipe would have dropped you into the proper place. That was that thing you heard earlier, the Koopa Patrol. Alright, this was the underground prison area, but it's unfinished. Okay. Ah! Oh, I've got such a cramp sitting in this position for so long. How much time have we elapsed? Geez, we've been going for... Oh wow, 3.5 hours. Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty unfinished map. Oh, I still have 2.1 open in the other tab. Oops. Let me see something here. Let me check the MB. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think the stream's probably run its course. I'm gonna shut it down for the night. I'll probably be streaming again tomorrow. And I don't know what we're gonna be doing. I kind of want to do SRB. I kind of want to play some of my other unfinished maps, notably the Drawn to Life pack. Or another time I want to do SRB2, but 1 in 10,000 chance of Withered Foxy jump scare every second. We can do multiplayer at some point yet too. Alright, I will be seeing you guys around. See ya. Thank you for coming.